Hello everyone and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I have the Mezco 112 scale green goblin. Now, about my last video. Okay, so one, it was definitely way too long and I'll try to keep this one as short as possible. And two, it was Steve Ditko. I can't believe I got myself mixed up with Steve Ditko and John Romita. I do apologize for that. It is a Steve Ditko inspired action figure. So sorry if you did catch me saying that. And if you didn't, thank you for not catching it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. So, here we have the Green Goblin Mezco 112 scale figure. Now, on the front, there's not really much to talk about. It's got that Goblin pose right there. We also have some shots of him in the comic, and this is another Steve Ditko inspired action figure. On the side we have him right here, 112, Green Goblin at the top. The back is just the same as the front. The bottom, more shots, and then the price, and the top, Green Goblin. Now, besides that, my figure, well, my box came a little damaged at the bottom right here. So, but besides that, let's go ahead and crack this thing open. And here we have the Goblin out himself. Look at him, he looks great. Okay, so this figure, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all are wondering where his pouch is. It is one of the accessories. It doesn't automatically come on him, but this looks great. You have this leather-like material. And then you have some plastic. We have plastic for his head, his gauntlets, hands, wrists, and boots. Now, this figure looks amazing. I love it. Especially the head sculpt. Look at that. Look, there's so much detail in it. It looks like it just jumped right out of a comic. Here, let's see if I can get my camera to focus. Yeah. As you can see, there's different shadings of green on him all around the face, which looks amazing. We can get more into articulation later, but the material is nice. It has little scales on him that look great. One thing about these though is that I'm worried these are gonna fall off over time during heat, like the summer, or whenever I'm posing him. And as well as the leather too, I feel like it's going to start withering away the more I pose him and more I leave him in poses. So do be mindful of that whenever you are posing him. But man, does he look great. Look at that. The detail in the boots. Ooh. He's got his little points. Alright. Well, besides that, let's go ahead and check out the accessories, what he comes with, because he comes with a good amount of accessories. Let's go. And here we have all of the Green Goblin's accessories, and like I said, there is a good amount of accessories. Now, maybe not as much as the Spider-Man, but this is still a lot of accessories. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, we'll start with the pouch, okay? Like I said earlier, the pouch is an accessory and it comes with the accessories, so don't even worry about it when you first get it. Now, the wire right here is a flexible wire, so it can mold however you want. Though, do be careful because it is a material that if you have it in such a position, such like this, for a certain amount of time, it will wrinkle up right there and start to wither away at that material. Now, the pouch itself does open. It's held together by two magnets. Super simple. Won't come out. Now, there is a little foam plastic piece in there that you can take out if you'd like, but I am going to keep it in there because it does keep the shape of the bag. So, besides that, go ahead and get something else. Now let's go ahead and get into his goblin rings. He comes with 3 of these goblin rings plus one that is being thrown, and really there's not much to talk about. It's just a blue ring, and honestly, I don't really remember when he uses this. The only time I actually remember is in the Sam Raimi movies with Tobey Maguire and William Dafoe. That is really the only time I actually remember him using this. If you do remember, please comment down below what comic it was and what year. That would be amazing. Speaking of the Goblin rings, here is the one that I said earlier that he is throwing. It has a nice little throwing effect. Right here is where you will place one of his hands, which I will show you which one of these hands belongs to it here in a minute. Another projectile he has is his little shooting. Now, I don't remember, again, I do remember it, but I really don't remember him using this. But what he did was attach it to his finger and just like that. Again, if you can comment down below when he does use this, what comic and what year, that'd be amazing. And again, I'll show you how to attach this here in a minute. Another projectile, he has 3 other projectiles right here. We've got a pumpkin throwing bomb right here with a nice orange effect right here to show that the flame is going back, which I love. You're going to attach the hand right here, and it's going to face just like that to show the pumpkin being thrown. As well as with the frog, which is so gross. I think this might actually be a toad instead of a frog because of the warts on its back. But would you look at that guy? So gross. But that is so hilarious to have. Again, I don't even remember him using these things. And then we got our little ghost. Ooh. Look at that. He looks so funny. What a silly little ghost. And look, he has like a little smoke effect right here. That is nice. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the pumpkin bombs here. There are about 8 different types of pumpkin bombs, and 3 of them, or well, 3 of each are different. We have 3 angry like pumpkins and 3 smiling pumpkins, which is pretty cool that we have 2 different variations of the pumpkins. Now, there's not really much going on with these guys. It's just a pumpkin bomb, not really anything crazy. You have a nice little detail around here that does not pop off, but indicates that it was carved out. And then you have the ridges of the pumpkin, and a nice yellow for the jack-o'-lantern like. Now, with these 2 right here, we have 2 different pumpkins. We got a smoke effect pumpkin, which is maybe like he's gonna gas somebody, you know, and make them pass out, or he's pre-lighting this pumpkin bomb, which is really cool. I love the smoke effect at the top. It is not removable, so do not try that. But look at that. Now, all these pumpkins are held in the same hand, which I will show you right here once we get to the hands. But man, look at this one. We got a nice flame effect for this pumpkin bomb. So cool. And again, they are all held in the same hand, so you do not have to worry about choosing a different hand for each pumpkin. It is all held in the same hand. Now, let's talk about his alternate heads. He comes with 5 alternate heads. 3 are the Green Goblin, and 2 are Norman Osborn. Now, we have our Goblin head right here that he comes with automatically already on him. And it's a nice Goblin head with him smiling so evil-like. And he has a lot of nice shading of green on him. He has different types of shading all around, right here around his eye. And then for the creases around where his face is creasing up, like right here, is a different shade of green as well. and even in his ears. And now when it comes to his little point right here, his tail of his hood, they are all different. And I'll show you right here. We got a smiling green goblin. Ooh, look at that. Nice white teeth that are straight though, nice. But like I said, all the tails on the goblin's heads are different. Now these two are kind of similar, but the points are pointing in a different direction. Look at that. And they got nice little details of the wrinkles on top and a nice little seam right there, which is super cool in detail. And then we have our third goblin head of him laughing. Now this goblin head is a little darker around the eyes right here. For me, it might be different for y'all, but who knows. But look at that. And a nice dirty little tongue. Ugh. And then his tail is shorter than the other two's. We got our smiling one right here and our laughing one. There's the tails. Again, amazing detail on the hood for the tails and a nice seam. And then we have our nice smiling one right here. Now, let's talk about the Norman heads. We have a nice regular Norman who isn't all goblined out. Look at that. He's got a frown on his face. And then he has an eyebrow raised with some green eyes. And his natural waves, which are textured out. So they aren't just flat and penciled in or shaded in. Got some creases where his eyebrows are, right along here. Super nice. Amazing detail on this figure. And then we have his crazy head. Look at that thing. Ugh. One of his eyes is bigger than the other. Nasty. And he's snarling at you. Ugh. Look at that. We got a regular side angry face. Then we got that big old popped-eyed, looks like Two-Face. Nasty. But again, same amazing waves. How does he do it over the years? Now, whenever he doesn't have his mask on, this is what it looks like. Which, look at that. Look, nasty little lip right here. Now, there is a hand that you can hold right here or right here, and again I will show you how to do that once we get to the hands. But look at that. Amazing detail on this. And again, amazing shading as well. You got the green right here, different shade of green, all around. Nice. Okay, now let's talk about the glider. So, right here, we have our glider. Nice comic book fashion glider. Now, whenever you're putting him on, all you have to do is take these off. Just like that. Super simple. Let me see if I can get this one off. There we go. And you just plug his feet right into there, because he does have little holes at the bottom of his feet. And you just plug them in, and then close this up around his feet, which I will show y'all here in a bit. He also has this little handle that rises up so that he can grab onto it. And again, I will show y'all here in a bit how that works and how to position him on there. Then when it comes down to the wings flapping down, it's just a simple going up and down. Try not to push it, because right here, right where that piston is, that's how it goes. Just like that. Now, you're probably wondering, what are these holes for? Well, that's for these right here. Now, you can have these for whenever he's flying in the air, and I'll explain that here right now. All you have to do is just plug these in, just like so, match the shape to the hole. And you would use these for whenever he's going to be up in the air, pretty high up, and you'd plug this right into there. Now, it is a tight fit, but once you get it in there, all good. And you could just turn it around, twist it, all good. And there you go. Just like that. Real nice. And the flame effect too. Oh, look at that. It is a nice transparent flame. We got a bright orange right here, yellowish ember right there. Really nice. Now, like I said earlier, you can either have it like that when he's in the air, or you could take these things off. Let me take these off real quick. And you can have him close to the air or close to the floor and still on the glider. Oh, this one's on there pretty snug. Here, let me see if I can get it out. There we go. Now it's coming out. Alrighty. There. That's better. Now, as I was saying, you can either have it close, have him close to the floor, and still on the glider by using these right here, which have a beautiful, nice smoke effect at the bottom and a nice flare right here of the flame, which is amazing. It's such great detail on it too, for both of them as well. Now they both do look the same. I can't really spot any difference besides this one having darker smoke than this one, but besides that, let's go ahead and plug these in and show you how it works. So all you do, again, just match up the hole, plug it in, match up the hole, and plug it in. And now you can just set this down. Here, we'll move these out of the way. Set this down on the floor and have the goblin stand on top of it without having to have your flight stand hold on to him in the air. So this is great for poses, great for having him close to the ground if you would like, still on his glider. Great. I think I'm going to use this mainly for a lot of poses when it comes down to him going against the Mezco Spider-Man. Now, at the end of this video, I will have pictures of him in great poses so that you can see what type of poses he can be in, how it looks to have him in those poses. And I will also be showing you all the alternate heads, how to put the pumpkin bombs, how to put the hands and what they look like on the goblin after this real quick. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the hands. We have 7 different alternate hands. Excuse me there. Now, we have his fisted hands right here, which it's just a basic purple. There's nice little details and ridges in the glove that you can see. Super, super cool. Not much to talk about, but it is really nice. Now we have a throwing kind of one. Now this one is like if he's about to throw something. Let me go ahead and show y'all up close. There we go. So this is like if he's holding something, or mainly for this one, which I will show you here in a minute, how to attach those and how it looks on him. Then we have his grabbing ones or his pumpkin holding bomb ones right here, which again I will show you guys how to attach the pumpkins and how it looks on the goblin here right after this. But look at that. Then what we have is his pointing ones. Now these ones are going to be used for whenever he's shooting his little blast. And again, I will show y'all how it looks. But look at that. Pointing you out, telling you not to do that. Nice. Then we have his open hands, which are as if he just released a pumpkin bomb or is trying to grab you. Super, super duper cool. Look at that. Nice, amazing detail in the glove. If you cannot see, look at that. Then we got the back of the glove. Now these are just a matted purple in color. There is not really any gloss on these guys. And then we have his relaxed hands right here, just opened, palmed, relaxed. Like if he's just sitting down, taking a nap. Now, we also have his glider holding hands right here. Now, the one thing I do not like about this is that he only has one. So these are for the glider. He only has one hand that holds onto the glider rail, which I will show y'all here in a minute, and one that he uses to like balance himself and hold out his hand, which looks the same as some of the other hands, which is kind of a bummer. It would have been great if we had another one of these for his left hand, but hey, oh well. Oh, sorry, right hand. Got myself mistaken there. It would have been great if we had a right hand for that one, but hey, it's okay, you know. I'm glad we at least have a glider holding hand anyways. Now, besides that, let's go ahead and get all these cool hands, heads, and accessories onto the Goblin himself and show y'all what it looks like. Alrighty, let's talk about the head sculpts on the Goblin figure. Now, here is the basic head sculpt that already comes on him whenever you take him out, and it looks great. You know, I like it. I think I might use the laughing head sculpt here in a bit, but man, does this head sculpt look good. Now, there's not really much to talk about it since we've already covered it, so let's go ahead and pop on the next head sculpt. And here is his smiling with teeth head sculpt. Now, this thing looks creepy. Look at him. Jeez, look at those teeth. Man. But this head sculpt looks great. I think this would be a great picture for him against Spider-Man. But I, again, love the laughing one. The laughing one is probably one of my favorite head sculpts on this guy. But hey, look at that. Besides that, let's go ahead and pop this head off and put on the laughing one. And here is the laughing one, and man, does it look good. I love this head sculpt. It looks great, amazing for the Green Goblin, and I'm glad we have this head sculpt. I couldn't have asked for any more. Here, let me adjust the camera a bit. Look at that. He looks great. And here in a minute, I will be showing y'all what the hands look like on the Goblin figure, and again, I will be showing you how to attach each of the accessory to the figure as well. But man, look at that. Now, besides the Goblin heads, let's go ahead and unmask this Goblin and see who he is behind the mask. And would you look at that, we got the Norman Osborn head on him, and it looks great. Now, whenever I was putting it on, I did have a little trouble right here around the neck area because it was a little close to it, because his head is smaller than the Goblin's head. But man, does it look good. Look at that. He's got that evil smirk on him. Not a crazy grin, just a frown. But hey, this head sculpt is great. I do wish maybe I can make my own custom Norman figure and apply this head sculpt to it so that I can have that, and it'd be great. But besides that, let's go ahead and see how crazy this guy can get. And here we are with the man, this crazy looking man. He got real crazy so fast. Look at that. So ugly looking, man, but again, it looks so good. I think this will be great if Spider-Man or Peter is fighting him, and he rips his mask off, and he just looks like that at Spider-Man. Man, does it look good though. Now again, I did have the same problem with the neck right there. See right there, it's getting a little caught on the cloth right here. So do be mindful of that whenever you are posing and putting on this head or any of the Norman heads. But besides that, let's go ahead and get into the hands. And here we have the Green Goblin with his open hands. Now look at that. See, now that looks good. Okay, so there's not really much to talk about. It's just an open, relaxed hand. You know, if he's saying hey, hello, or wait, you know, Peter, it's me. It's not Goblin anymore. It's Norman. It's what they look like in the back. And I will be posing this figure with different accessories so you can see how each of them look and how amazing they look. But besides that, let's go ahead and put another pair of hands on him. And here we have him with his fisted hands. We're ready to punch Spider-Man in the face and whoop him. But luckily, our main man, Spider-Man, will easily win. There you are. He's getting ready. He's telling you to let's tussle. Come on, come at me. And this is how they look, facing this way. Again, there's not that much to talk about when it comes to his hands. They are just purple with hints of little detail in the glove. But besides that, let's go ahead and put another pair of hands. Now here we have his Goblin pumpkin bomb holding hands, and these can be used for whatever, but since I have them on now, let me go ahead and show you how to attach the pumpkin bombs. So what you'll do, and I'll go ahead and show you each different pumpkin bomb here. We got our angry one right here, and all you do is simply just place it in the palm of his hand and push it down so he's holding it very securely so it doesn't fall out. Same thing with his other hand. Here we got his smiling pumpkin bomb. Oops, don't mean to twirl you. And you'll just push it down to make sure it is secure in there. And again, these will not fall out. And that is what they look like. Let's go ahead and switch out the pumpkin bombs. Here we have his flaming one, and we'll go ahead and put that right there. Now with this one, it is a little more difficult, so do be careful because this one may fall out if you don't have it secured enough in there. And then we have the smoke effect right here, and you'll just pop that one in like the rest of them. Just like that. And he's ready to cause some destruction with his pumpkin bombs. Look at that. Pretty great. Gotta love it. Again, these won't fall out as long as you have them secured in there properly. Now, besides that, let's go ahead and put on some different hands. And here we have his throwing hands. Now this hand is used for whenever he is throwing his Goblin ring, and I will show you how to attach that here in a bit. But again, these hands don't have that much detail to them. They look just like that. Now let's go ahead and put the Goblin ring throwable on it, which is this one right here. Now in order for you to put this one on, all you have to do is position his hand just like this, and it should go in his palm just like that. So what you'll do is put it in between those two fingers and that right there to symbolize him throwing it. There you go. And that's what it looks like. There's your little goblin ring being thrown. Now, besides that, let's go ahead and put on another pair of hands. And here we have him with his open / closed, like if he just finished throwing something type of hands. Now, again, there's not much to these hands. They are just purple with hints of little detail in them, like near the finger creases, and as well as the gloves right here. Now, these hands are not really used for anything, but more like you just threw a goblin ring and it is flying through the air right now, or a pumpkin bomb. Now, besides that, let's go ahead and put on another pair of hands. And here we have his pointing hands. Now, these hands are used for whenever he shoots his little blaster out of his fingertips, and I will show y'all how to attach that. Or you can use this to point at you, viewers. That's right, you better like and subscribe unless you want this goblin to shoot you. Just kidding, it's just a toy. Now, let me go ahead and show you how to attach this. So, at the very front of this flame, there is a little hole that you attach the finger to. So all you have to do is just plug it in, just like that. And there you go. You got your nice little shooting effect right there. Like if he's shooting at Mary Jane or Peter Parker, or sorry, Spider-Man. There you go. And you can also put this on the other finger, just like the throwable goblin ring. Now he's shooting up in the air while pointing at you. Now, besides that, let's go ahead and put on another pair of hands. Okay, now these hands that I have on him, let me go ahead and show y'all. These hands that I have on him are for his glider. Now, he would hold the handle with his glider for this hand right here, and just have this open hand on the side, like if he's just trying to balance himself. But we can use this hand for two other things. We can use it for his goblin ring, the single ones that aren't being thrown, and I will go ahead and touch it. So all you have to do is just slide it in that little slot right there, just like so. And there you go. You have it just like that, or you can have it the other way around. Either one doesn't matter. You can have his arm positioned out like if he's about to throw it. Now, another thing he can use for this hand is his goblin mask. Oops. Now, what you'll do is you're going to put his hand through here. So, you'll go ahead and slide his fingers on through the gap right here. You're going to have to use both hands here. You'll slide his fingers through, move his thumb, and there you go. Just push the mask on in there, and there you go. Now he's holding his mask, and you would have the Norman head on him, which I will do a pose for y'all here at the end of the video with that, but there you go. Now he's holding the mask of the Green Goblin, showing he's the true goblin. Now let's go ahead and put on his other projectile hands. Okay, now with these hands, they are all on the left hand, so they won't be going on this hand, just this side. And another thing, you'll have the hand positioned this way to make sure that the objects flying towards the Spider-Man or yourself or the camera, like so, is facing the right direction. Unless you want it to face sideways, upside down, or just a little to the side. Now, these objects right here are not detachable, so do not try taking them off. You will break the figure's accessory, so please do not do that. As well as right here, it does not come off. So please do not do that. But this is what it looks like. Just like that. Look at him. Throwing the ghost at y'all, guys. let's go ahead, pop this one off, and add the pumpkin bomb one. Now, again, it is going to all be on the same side of him. So, you just attach and throw. Now for this one, his hand will be facing up like this instead of a little to the side. And the pumpkin bomb is going to the side a little. So here we are. And there you go. See if we can get a good focus on the pumpkin bomb here. Probably not, but hey, that's okay. But that is what it looks like. That looks better. Let's go ahead and take this off and attach the frog or the toad. Y'all let me know down below what this is. I honestly think it might be a toad, but I'm kind of leaning towards a frog because of the color. Now, look at that. If you have it like this, he'll be just leaping at you. Look at this froggy. Look at this toad. Either one doesn't matter. Still pretty crazy to see. Look at that. What's it gonna do? Bite you? Actually, frogs and toads do bite, but I don't think they hurt that much. And there you go. That is all the accessories. Now, when it comes down to the glider and the pouch, I will show y'all how to attach those and put that on him here in a bit. Now, before I forget, I wanted to talk about the display. Now, with the Amazing Spider-Man, we had the same display, but in blue saying the Amazing Spider-Man, as well as a little mat that was puffed out. Now with the Green Goblin, we don't have anything like that. It's just the Green Goblin display right here, and a nice flight pole to attach him to. Now when it comes to Mezco, I believe that when you are attaching this, that you shouldn't keep them on it for too long of a time, because I believe it can mess up the material, especially with the Green Goblin's material he has on his purple. So do be mindful of that if you are going to have him on the flight pole for X amount of time. Now, besides that, let's go ahead and talk about articulation. And here we have the Green Goblin back. Now, for the satchel, all you have to do is just lift up, bend up his arm just like that, slide it around his little point, and right on through, just like that. Now, let's talk about articulation. So, with the Green Goblin, again, the material is very, very scary due to his scales. Right here, I can show y'all. Oh, there goes the pouch. His scales are not, I wouldn't say molded on, but they will eventually fall off if you have them in certain poses, at least I believe, but we don't have to worry about that right now. So he has a little boot swivel. He has an ankle swivel. Look at that. His ankle goes up and down about that much. No toe pivot. Then we have a double jointed knee going back and about to a butt kick. And his leg goes out about, I want to say a little bit more than 90 degrees if you push it. His leg can go out about almost, let's see, yeah, about to a split, I would say. Now, whenever you're doing poses like this, especially whenever you're putting him on the glider, which I'll show y'all, it clamps up right here. Like, it just bunches up right there, which is super scary with this type of material. Again, you don't want to have him in these types of poses for such a period amount of time. Both legs do that. Right leg, go up, all the way to a butt kick, back. Leg goes back about that far, right here at the thigh. Now for the ab crunch, again, material it only goes about that much, which is super scary because look at that bunch. Jeez. And then back about that much, which is super scary with this, again, super scary with this material. Oops, almost dropped him. Now, we got his arm. It goes up about, I would say about a T-pose. Doesn't go up any further. Goes out all the way. And then here, let's see. Put it back. He has a little bit of a bicep swivel. Again, the material and clothing does restrict it, like the Amazing Spider-Man one. He has a little wrist swivel right here. Goes, oh, there goes off his hand, but it goes up and it goes down. Let's pop that hand back in. There we go. He's got an elbow joint double right there. And it can go back about that far. Both arms do the same. Goes out. Double jointed elbow. Very scary. Look at that. Again, try not to have your action figure in such a pose for X amount of time, because again, it will start to wither at the material. But let's go ahead and put him back. Oop, and focus. There we go. Now, the head. He can look up about that much, and he can look down, all the way down. There we go. Now, when you pop off his head, he has a nice solid plastic piece right here. This is plastic. This right here isn't like this. It's the same color, same scales, but it's not cloth. It is a hard plastic. So you don't really have to worry about messing this up. Now, you can scratch the paint on it because the head does rest pretty low on it to where you aren't really going to see his neck unless you're looking on the side. But besides that, he can lean his head about that far. And other side. But yeah. Besides that, this figure is amazing. I think it'll look great with the Spider-Man. And of course, we'll do a comparison here in a bit. But let me go ahead and show y'all how to get him on his glider. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in the glider. Here we are. Okay, now for him, it is going to be a bit difficult. Let's go ahead and pop these off real quick because I don't want to get them in the way. So what you first do, like I said earlier, is you pop this right here off, and then you pop the other side off, just like that. All you have to do right here, these little holes, you plug in his feet. Oh, plug in his feet, and plug in his other foot. Oh, there goes his foot. And plug in his other foot. There we go. So you just plug in his feet just like that, and he'll stay on there for a good bit. He won't move, won't really do anything. Not gonna fall off. Now, after that, you go ahead and clamp these little clamps on. And let me show you which they just, let's see if I can get it. There you go. Just like that. And we'll get the other side too. Oh, look, see. So whenever you are putting him on here, he does tend to come off a little bit. That's what the clamps are for, to keep him completely on, just like that. And whenever you are bending the wings down, like in this position, he is going to be needed in a squatted position, which the instructions will show you how to do, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do it. So all I do is just get him in a nice little seated position, just like that, for him to go ahead and glide. Like that. Now, I really don't like him holding this because it doesn't really go up all the way for him to really grab it. So I'm going to go ahead and pop off this hand. Now, instead of putting the hand on his wrist, what I do is put it on here. So let me go ahead and do that and show y'all. Just go ahead and there. There we go. Just pop it on there. Got it. So it's going to end up looking like this. And you could just move the thumb back a bit. There we go. So it's going to end up looking like this, and you just pull it up and then move him. You're going to have to crunch his body a bit. So you're going to have to twist him and then crunch him, which is super scary because of his material. So we'll go ahead, move his arm out, do a little bit of a twist, crunch, and move that hand. So it is a tad difficult to get him in that position, so this might take a little bit. So I'll go ahead and show y'all what he looks like in that position. Okay, there we go. Got it. Now this is what he looks like in that position. You can position his head up. There we go. Now right here at his wrist, it's barely connected, so it will pop off of his hand, or his hand will pop off of his wrist, which isn't too bad. But yeah, that's what it looks like. And then we could just pop these bad boys back in. There we go. Again, just match the holes and place him down. And that's what he'll look like in that position. Now, this figure is a 10 out of 10. I love it. The figure itself is great. The accessories are good, you know. And honestly, there's not really that much accessories I'd really want from this figure. You know, I'm glad we have a good amount of accessories. This is probably the most amount of accessories I've seen with a Goblin figure. But we'll go ahead and go into size and comparison then. And here we have him standing next to the Marvel Legends Green Goblin Sandman Build-A-Figure Wave. Now, like I said before in other video, is Mezco is roughly a bit taller than Marvel Legends. My Amazing Spider-Man was a bit shorter than him, but right here you can see that the Mezco Goblin is just a tad bit taller. Now, it's not a significant amount, and it does seem like I do have the pouch on the wrong way. I can't believe I put it on the wrong way. But, you know, that's okay. I'll flip it around the next time. But besides that, it looks great. I mean, he is just a bit taller. There isn't really too much to go off and crazy about. His little hat does point out more than the other Green Goblin. But besides that, they look pretty cool. Both look great. Oh, dropped him. And here we have him next to Marvel Legends Chasm and Mafex Ben Reilly. Now, Marvel Legends and Mafex are just a tad shorter than him, which is crazy. I find it crazy. Now, here he is next to Mafex Spider-Man. Let's go ahead and bring his hand down so we can see him fully. And there we go. Oh, there we go. But yeah, he's just a tad bit taller than Ben Reilly here. Look at that. And then he's also taller again than Chasm, who, if you didn't know, spoiler alert right now, is Ben Reilly in the most recent Amazing Spider-Man run. But besides that, they're all amazing figures, and this Green Goblin is taller than most of them. So let's go ahead and bring in the Mezco Spider-Man up in here. And if you are wondering about this Ben Reilly right here, I will be doing a review on him very soon. So again, stay tuned. But besides that, let's go ahead and get him in here. And here we have the Steve Ditko Amazing Spider-Man and the Green Goblin. Now, the Green Goblin is taller, which I think he's always been taller, but soon they should be around roughly the same height. But I'm glad he is taller than the Steve Ditko Spider-Man here, which is super cool. They look amazing together. And I can't wait to get some great photos, as well as do an amazing stop motion, which hopefully will be coming up soon. It does take a lot of time, and it is very, very difficult to do sometimes, but hopefully I can get one out for y'all. If not, I'll just continue doing reviews for you guys.